So before we get going, I need to introduce you to my other team members. In blue here is Eric, and he will be again demonstrating the basic movements. So again, if you're newer to this routine or to abdominal work in general, you're going to want to follow Eric throughout this routine. In red here is Marcella, and she's going to be pushing you to that more advanced level. So if you're ready for a challenge, look to Marcella to give you that. So let's get going. If you could grab your band and turning to the side of your mat, make sure that you take your band so that there's enough width to it so that as you put it under your feet, it's not tight against your feet. So it's not small, but actually quite a bit of width under there so that you have a secure hold under the arches of your feet. You may want to wrap it around your hand several times in order to have a secure lock on it. From here, what I'd like for you to do is slowly sink on down into the mat, one vertebrae at a time, and drop your elbows so they're glued right next to your rib cage. Now from here, what I'd like for you to do is bring those knees up and shoot those legs way up into the air, trying to point those toes to the ceiling. Keep in mind your back needs to stay pressed into the mat to support the back and support the core. From here, toes point up, and all that I need for you to do is start side to side, driving those heels down. You're going to create a half circle with this movement, and as you do this, I want you to pay special attention to your back. That back needs to stay nice and flat, side to side. Each time, think about driving those heels a little bit further down. Again, those elbows are glued to the rib cage, no movement in the arms. Back stays pressed, hips are flat, shoulders and hips nice and lined up together. A few more of these side to side, taking it a little bit further each time. You're really working your lower transversus abdominis on this one. And last time like this. Now from here, as you're circling, I want you to continue that circle into a full circle around, down, and back on up. Circling up, around, down, and back on up. Pay special attention to your back, keeping it flat into the mat and back on up. Circle around, down, and back on up. 3 more, and I want you to make the greatest circles that you can make while staying in control. Here's 2, down, around, back on up. No rocking of the hips, and down, around, back on up. Now reverse. Take it the other direction, circling around, back on up, again and down. Now if you don't feel a challenge with this, I want you to expand that circle outward, making it a little bit larger, pressing that back into the mat, and dropping down, circling around, and back on up. 3 more. Nice big wide circles. You may notice that these circles are slightly smaller than the ones that you did without the band earlier in the workout, when we did one-legged circles. That's because when you use one leg, you have greater range of motion than when you have 2 together and come up top. Now from here, what I'd like for you to do is bend those knees into the chest, extend those heels out and long. Come on in again, out and long. Now we've gone from working just the lower transversus abdominis, now we're really stretching and lengthening that rectus abdominis as well as that lower core. Reaching long. Now a modification would be just to drop as far down as you can and stop and come back up. The challenge is to push yourself further each time, coming back on in. 2 more, reaching long and tall. Here's your level 1. And if you're comfortable here, just stay here. This is great work for that lower core and rectus abdominis. Level 2 is going to start off in the same fashion. Hug those knees into the chest, shoot those heels out, and then pull those shoulders up. Come up into a chair position, sitting tall, straight back, head is pulled towards the ceiling, 90-degree bend in those knees for a nice chair position. Now hang out here for a minute, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, slowly come on back down, hug those knees into the chest. Same thing again, lead with those heels, come on up, hold. Sitting tall, and again, slowly come on back down. Here's your level 2. And I want you to master this before you move on, meaning I need you to be in absolute control the whole time. Only if you're ready for level 3 would you move on to that. And I'll show you that next time. We're going to drop the band out. Dropping down, and we're going to drop that band out. Same thing with the arms, shooting those legs down, coming on up and holding. It's a little bit more difficult, and if you have lower back trouble, I want you to stay with the band, slowly lower down. And come on up. Again, come on up again. Now level 4 is going to incorporate upper abdominal work. And if you have a ring, you can add level 4. If not, you can add level 4 by just adding those arms up on top. Holding here, slowly lowering down. 3 more. Your choice, just a leg drop, adding the shoulder raise, dropping the band out, or adding those arms above the head. And up. Now a challenge move I want to show you that I want you to work on and practice for me is when you come up, if you're in this position, extend to a hold here and come on back. That's a real advanced move. Work on that and perfect that for me. Last time up. And back down. Nice job.